I love it. Yes, that's why I don't use YOLO. YOLO, you only live once. I say no, YOLD. You live daily. And when you realize that you live daily, you would do more. I don't use bucket list. Why? Because every time you say bucket list, you put it off until you think you get older and you think you have time. No, have a live list. Live your life to the fullest. Live out loud. Of course, everyone is not going to like you. Of course, people are going to talk about you. Of course, you want to please everyone. Of course, and I can go on and on and on. But here's the deal. This is your life. You were put here with a purpose. You were put here with a passion that burns inside of you. It's that thing that does not allow you to sleep.
Hello, Empower Nation. Welcome to another episode of Empower Her Money Podcast. I am your host, Angela Duncan, speaker, best-selling author, serial entrepreneur, and this is the podcast where we talk all things business and money. Today's episode is sponsored by freemoneytipsbook.com, freemoneytipsbook.com. Head over there and download your free copy of an ebook I personally wrote, 7 Unshakable Tips to Get You Started on Your Financial Journey. On today's episode, I am interviewing Dr. Tina D. Lewis. She is the CEO and founder of Global Women Speakers, and she is going to tell you why you absolutely need to become a global speaker. Hello, Dr. Tina. Welcome to Empower Her Money Podcast. How are you today?
Absolutely amazing. I am so honored and so humbled to be here. Thank you, Angela, for having me.
Well, thank you for saying yes. So I would love for you to first start off with your story. Go back as far as you'd like, but tell us a little bit more about you and how you got to Global Women Speakers.
Wow, it's been a long journey, right? And so if you're listening to the sound of my voice, I want you to follow the journey because you're going to be somewhere in between if you haven't arrived at the mountaintop yet, because I'm still climbing. But I can tell you this, my background is unbelievable. Okay. I can just tell you that it shows that God has had his hand on my life all the time. Like he's never lifted it off. And so we had everything. My mom was in a near fatal car accident. I was only 10 years old, Angela. I was in the 5th grade. I come home from school and my neighbor is like, we're going to take you to see your mom. I'm like, my mom is in a bedroom. What do you mean? No, no, no. My mom was in the hospital. She had been in a near fatal car accident and she was in a coma. It was one of the most horrible days in my life to see my mom in a full fledged out body cast, unalert. She didn't even know that we were there. And so all I can tell you is that while other children were gathered around the Thanksgiving table with their family, passing that turkey, ham, and pumpkin pie, my siblings and I were being escorted to the hospital to see my mom. And it was the same thing for Christmas, the same thing for Christmas, while everyone was exchanging gifts and tearing that wrapping paper off of their Barbie doll or, their latest toy. Once again, we were escorted to the hospital. And I was just thanking God that my mother's life was our gift. And then come January. And so we end up losing everything. Angela, the transition from having everything to having absolutely nothing to living, in the projects was unbelievable. There's no way on God's green earth. It was not a 360, it was a 180, right? But I can tell you the things that I learned during that transition at 10 years old, at 18 years old, because I was literally 18. We got pregnant at 18, had my daughter at 19. I've been on welfare, food stamps, and I just remember watering the dirt where we lived because there was no grass. Nothing grew there. Sometimes, sadly, not even the people. And so I made a conscious decision that I would never, ever allow anyone, including my mom, the government, to be in control of my zip code, what I ate, what I wore, and my decisions. And I can tell you that there is what catapulted me into what I do now. But there's so much more in between. I don't know how much you want, but I'm here to give it to you. But most importantly, give it to your audience because it's all about not, it's not where you start, it's how you finish. It's how you finish. People ask me all the time, how could I have that story? And how could I go to Necker Island with Richard Branson, the Virgin mogul? How could I share a stage and be mentored by the Donald Trump? Unbelievable. How could I get a chance to spend time with Oprah and Mark Cuban? Like, how does that happen? How can I be in the midst of billionaires after having that story? Is that possible?
Yeah, and it goes back to and just changing that mindset instead of saying, "Why me? Why not me?" So it doesn't matter where you
Absolutely.
came from or where you started. There's so many opportunities out there, and it's a matter of you focusing and getting towards those goals. So I love that. So talk a little bit about Global Women Speakers. Like, how did that idea come about, and what was your vision when you first started the company?
You know what? Thank you for that question. People wanted to hear my story because it's such an anomaly, right? It's weird. How can someone who comes from food stamps, teenage mom, all of the stereotypes, how can they prevail? How can they end up in rooms full of billionaires? Because I show up no matter where I am. I'm going to show up in every single room as if I was meant to be there. And so, yes, on that Island, I was the only one that wasn't a billionaire. But I can tell you they did not tell. I'm like, hey, I'm meant to be here and I'm asking questions. And that's what got me in front of Donald Trump is I asked the right questions. And I know you guys are like, I don't want to ask questions. People are not going to tell me no. There are some people that are waiting for you to ask the right questions so they can put you in that room so it can be used but to put you in not just that room, but to put you in position to change the trajectory of your legacy, of your family. And so, Angela, people would want to know my story. They couldn't believe it. They would see me and think I just landed there on a hill of success. That wasn't the case at all. I
Mhm.
crawled, I scratched, I squeezed in doors that were closed. I did whatever it was necessary. And I can tell you, once I got a hold of personal development, it was over because I didn't have an example. Like I became, I became the mentor, I became the coach, I became the example that I wanted to have. And listen, for those of you who are teenage moms, you have a story. For those of you who are listening, who are struggling, you're a single mom or you have children, let your children not be a hindrance. Allow your children to be a catalyst. They are the reasons why you must succeed. I can, I will, and I must. My daughter was a catalyst for me. I call her a drag baby, not a drug baby. I never done drugs, but I called her a drag baby because I drug her to school. I drug her to the library. I drug her to student council meetings. I drug her everywhere. And so, in regards to Global Women Speakers, it is my baby. I love it so much, Angela, because there are more women who have stories. They don't want to tell them, or they don't have an audience to tell it. They've overcome some unbelievable, unpredictable storms, hurricanes, tornadoes, and who they are today. Like one lady, I can't believe it. She was homeless, living in her car, and then she became an astronaut. How does that happen?
Yeah.
How can someone literally, listen, just start a makeup brand and make $1 million in one day on one Black Friday last year? How does that happen?
Yeah.
There's so many stories. And so someone offered me $5,000 to speak. And I was just tired of going and going. I said, you know what? How about you take that same $5,000 and just give two of my speakers 2,500 each. We didn't call them speakers at the time. They were just my friends, right? I wanted to help my friends get paid too, right? Can you take that 5,000, divide it into 25 and 25, and I will speak for free under one condition. You know what that condition was, Angela?
What
That I
was that?
had the that I had the opportunity to offer my services from the stage.
Hmm.
They said yes. And so both of my speakers had $2,500 on top of the products that they sold, the services that they offered. and I made over $48,000 from the stage. Like,
Hmm.
unbelievable. And so, for those of you who are speakers, for those of you who are coaches, for those of you who are consultants, sometimes it's not about that now money, right? I would have taken $5,000 and I wouldn't have been able to offer my services. And so sometimes we're looking for a payment when no one, and I'm going to repeat that, no one can pay you your worth.
Very true. Yes. And I have had the honor to know you for a little bit now. Your confidence and your positivity and your energy is just so contagious. So when I'm talking to you and you speak these words of wisdom, I believe it. And so I think that that's just an incredible opportunity for people who want to work with you, who are ready to share their story. Just to have you as their cheerleader and to inspire them is just so incredible. It's very rare that you find people like yourself in the business world. So I love that story
Oh,
too. And the way that you
you're
just
amazing.
shared, instead of taking it just for yourself, you're sharing with other people, but also creating opportunity for you to be able to serve others and, create that just environment that you do. So I love that about you.
Well, thank you so much. I appreciate it. I'm humbled. I have a saying, most people say, if it's to be, it's up to me, right? If it's to be, it's up to me. But I don't stop there. I say, if it's to be, it's up to be, but not just for me. We are all pioneers. We're all leading the way, and someone is going to follow us. And I don't look for like minded people, I look for like hearted. You can
Mm.
change your mind at any time, but your heart is who you are. It is your character, it is your core. And so being surrounded around like hearted women who says, you know what, it's time for me to be unmuted, unashamed, and unapologetic. I mean, what more could you ask, right? And I can tell you just this year alone, we've gone to 7 countries, 7 countries, unfathomable, right? Who would think that? Just think my mom was terrified of flying. So we didn't fly. If we couldn't drive there, we didn't go. And now 7 countries. 7 countries. I keep saying it's not how you start, it's how you finish, but you have to be the CEO. You see this shirt?
Yes, I do. I love it.
You have to be the CEO of your life, of your destiny. Because see, Angela, I don't come from a wealthy family, but a wealthy family will come from me. I'm gonna say
Mm.
it again. I don't come from a wealthy family, but a wealthy family will come from me.
Yes, and because you share that information, you share the spotlight, you share the opportunities so that people can, learn from you, take action, and do that for themselves and for their family too.
And
So
on
I have
top
a
of
question.
that, wait,
Yeah.
hold on. On top of that, I'm attached to Empower Her Money. Now,
Mhm.
listen, I need a pause break right here. Now, listen, I don't know for those of you who are listening, you need to save this podcast, not just my interview, but save the podcast, Empower Her Money. What Angela is doing for women around the globe is like humongous. It's astronomical. It is epic. It's mind changing. It's mind blowing. It's transformational. Because, ladies, I know there's some of us that don't know how to manage money. I'm going to raise my hand because I'm one of them, right? You earn it, you spend it. It's a cycle. Angela has, listen, literally lived it, done it, and is still doing it. I have a saying that says you can't teach what you don't know, you can't give what you don't have, and you can't lead where you've never been. If you're looking on places to invest your money, if it's in real estate, if it's investing, or simply just to save some money or run a business properly, strategically, Angela Duncan is your girl. I recommend her without hesitation, 1000%.
Thank you very much for that testimonial. So I'm going to turn the spotlight back on you because that's my job for this podcast. But I do have a question for you. I'm sure that you come across women who have incredible stories. They have services and products that they should be sharing with the world. And you start to talk about traveling internationally. For someone who hasn't done that before and maybe doesn't quite have that level of confidence, what do you tell them?
Listen, I just say jump off the cliff and grow your wings on the way down. You are not a tree. The world is not just your oyster, it is your playground. When you travel, it opens your mind, it expands your mind. And here's the deal, it's like a wallet. Like once it's expanded, it doesn't go back to its normal size, like a rubber band, right? It does
Mhm.
not. I can tell you, I've been introduced to so many cultures, so many different foods. I speak multiple languages. And it's because I desire to let the people know that, hey, we're from the same heart. I don't sound properly speaking it. It's not grammatically correct sometimes, but I don't care. It's all about that like-heartedness, and people are welcoming uh, Americans, if you will, from all over the world. There are places that people will tell you, don't go, they don't like you over there. Oh no, this is happening. And what I found from my own personal experience, that is totally the contrary. I can
Mm.
tell you every single place that I've gone, I have been embraced, I have been welcomed, and some of those people were professionals, some of them became friends. And I can tell you, Angela, some of those friends have become family.
Yay. Oh, I love that too. Such some great information. I feel like I should be right. I'm going to go back and I'm going to have to re-listen to this so that I can write down all of the value that you're providing on the podcast today. So thank you for that. So
Thank you.
talk about what's next for you. What do you see in the future for you and your impact on this incredible world?
I'm glad you asked, because I don't have the words in any grammatical form to put in. I just feel it. It's a feeling for me. It's in my, not in my mind or in my heart, it's in my soul. I know without a shadow of a doubt that I have been predestined and predetermined for more. I know that Global Women Speakers International is going to be the #1 platform for women around the globe to be unmuted, unashamed, unapologetic. To share their message, sell their products and their service, sell their products and to stop being afraid to sell. It's it's stop being afraid to sell. You have a gift, you have a service, you're innovative, you're revolutionary, and the world is waiting on it. We need what you have to offer. We're all one body fitly joined together. And if you don't bring your gift, then that doesn't allow my gift to operate at its optimum. And so
Mm.
I know that we will be the #1 platform for women around the globe to speak on stages internationally, share their message, sell their
Yeah.
products and their services, and network with other women around the globe.
Yeah, and it's so interesting to me because I've traveled to other places, but I've never really looked at business or thought about business in other countries. And speaking is universal,
Yes,
conferences are universal, money is universal. And when
yes,
you kind of open up someone's mind to that possibility and that potential, you give
right.
them the opportunity to take their gifts and talent and just share it with the world. So you're like, God's hand catalyst to everybody.
Yes. And you know what, Angela, with Global Women Speakers International, we have 5 core values. #1 is charity. Wherever we go into the trenches with the people. I want to see how they live. I don't want to just be a tourist. So charity. #2 is culture. John C. Maxwell is the #1 leadership expert in the world. And he says that culture will eat vision for lunch. #3 is community. #4, communication. Duh, we speak. Relationships. #5 is collaboration.
Mm.
Collaboration. We are better together than we are apart. If you want to go fast, go alone. But if you want to go far, go together. And our last C of our core values, I said there's 5. I never talk about 6 because it's icing on the cake. It is cash flow. It is cash
Ah.
flow. It is cash flow. And that's why I'm here on Empower Her Money, because I want you all to do 3 things. #1, I want you to start sharing your story. People are waiting for it, and
Mm.
they will pay you premium prices for you to share it in the right places to the right people. So share your story. #2, sell your products,
Mhm.
sell your services. Whether you're baking cookies, whether you're sewing. Do you know Sarah Blakely stole my idea? I used to buy these um, these support pantyhose and cut out the legs. And my friends were like, why don't you just create something? I'm like, I will, I will. Next thing you know, here comes Spanx.
Yeah.
Do you know that Sarah Blakely sold Spanx for $1.2 billion?
Mm.
Ladies, be unashamed, be unapologetic, show up and show out. And thirdly, not only are you going to share your story, not only are you going to sell your products, but the last and final one, I want you to realize that the world is your oyster. You are not a tree. I want you to move. I want you to go somewhere different. I want you to go and explore, because at the end of life, nothing matters. Listen, New Year's is coming up, 2024. The top 3 New Year's resolutions, if you will, is earn more money, get healthier, lose weight and travel. Make more money, get healthier, lose weight, and travel. It's on people's list every single year, but have you done it? So I challenge you to either tap in with Global Women Speakers. We're going to Dubai, December 17th to the 23rd. The first 2 days are a conference, but I can tell you the next 3 days, we're having camel riding, ATV riding, dinner in the sky, yacht parties, dinner cruise, belly dancing, and so much more. Because life is about experiences and memories, and we create them everywhere we go.
Sounds like such an incredible trip. I'm sure it's going to be super exciting, but you also get to give back as well. So speaking of December, we are coming up on the last month of the year. We talk about, you shouldn't let off on the gas. This is still the year. Talk about what do you have coming up in December?
Wow, thank you, Angela. Yes, I say, listen, all hands on deck. Do not let your foot off the gas. I know there's 30 days left, and people are like, oh, in 2024, I'm going to do this. Next year, I'm going to do this. What are you talking about? It is still 2023. Starting Friday, December 1st, we're having something called 30-day max. It's not for everybody. It may or may not be for you. But if there are some things that you feel you should have done, could have done, or did not do, it's not too late. Starting Friday, just for 30 days, we are going to maximize every single second, every millisecond, every hour, every day, every week, the entire month. We're going to maximize it because I know that some of us are feeling unaccomplished, incomplete, like we didn't do what we said we were going to do. So now's your time. Join us at 30-day max, max.live, 30-day, the 3030 max, max dot live, live, because we're live and in person. But this is what's going to happen. Okay, you're going to get accountability Zooms. You're going to be coached by 6, 7, and 1 8-figure income earner. So you're going to have clarity on your goal. You're going to have that check-in. You're going to have that strategy that you need. And we're going to focus on just one goal, whether it's a BHAG, a big, hairy, audacious goal, or simply just a small goal of losing 5 pounds or learning a different language or just being more organized, whatever that goal is. Or it may be coming to Dubai. You never know. 30-day max.live, 30-day max.live.
That's awesome. So you're planning 2024 as we are still full speed ahead in 2023. Where are you going in 2024? What incredible adventures are in front of you?
Oh, wow. Well, we have 2 TED Talks coming up. I've always wanted to do a TEDx talk. I volunteered for one. We did a TED Salon in Johannesburg when we went, Global Women Speakers. And now we have the opportunity to not just do one, but to do 2 TEDx talks. So that's number 1, right? That's going to be in March and April. If you're interested, then you have to be a part of Global Women Speakers. I'm just saying, membership has its privileges.
Yes.
And then the other thing that we're doing is we're doing a massive campaign of giving back to Her Business Matters. Matter of fact, today is Giving Tuesday. I would love for you to give to Her Business Matters. It's an organization for young girls ages 9 to 19. It teaches them how to master self, SELF, self-esteem, STEM, entrepreneurship, leadership, and financial literacy.
So important.
I love it. Yes, Her Business Matters. Yes, yes, yes. And so not only are we doing TED Talks, not only we're traveling to Egypt, back to Johannesburg, not only are we traveling to Maldives, not only are we going, listen, back to Dubai, but let me tell you what's happening when we go back. There's a sheikh that's going to totally sponsor our event, take care of our women. And I am literally getting a real estate license there because I want to buy a place that whenever any Global Women Speakers go, that they have somewhere to stay. They can go and stay with their families or just their friends. There's so many things that are happening, Angela, but I can tell you this, that I'm super stoked out of my mind. And I don't even want to think about 2024 as of yet, because I am going to max these last 30 days with the 30-day max.live. It is going to be explosive. It is going to set you off. It's going to position you with true momentum for 2024. I'm just saying, we're going to just roll past everyone else, because here's the deal. Most people are like, oh, they already stopped. They're done working. They're waiting for Christmas. They're waiting for the holidays. They're shopping, buying gifts. But I'm going to tell you what happens. When you work while they play,
Mm-hmm.
you can live the life that they won't. You can do the things that they don't. I don't know, Angela. I'm just super excited, and I just want to run around this building right now because I have vision. I have
Mm-hmm.
vision. I have foresight, and not only that, I have favor upon my life. So I must be obedient to that. And when I
Mm-hmm.
am obedient to that, the things that are happening are magical. They are magical. Ooh, ooh, I get
Yeah.
chilled up.
I know, same here. Just hearing you talk and that confidence behind your voice, I get the same way. So, as we
Ooh,
start to wrap up the podcast a little bit, I know we could go on for hours, and you just have so much value and information in that brain of yours that you are delivering. But I do have a fun question for you, and I can't wait
sure.
to see what your answer is going to be. But if you could have a superpower, what would it be and why?
Wow, a superpower. Wow. I mean, wow, that's awesome. Well, I can say this. Maybe approximately 2.5 weeks ago, I was in a near fatal car accident, which is kind of ironic because that's my mom's story. I was leaving Atlanta and we slid past one lane, then we slid past the second lane, then we slid past the third lane. And Angela, we almost hit the the cement divider. The car turned around in a 360, and I knew we were going to smash into that cemented wall. When we finally came to, it felt as someone pushed us in the middle of the highway. And when we came to the realization of what was happening, we opened our eyes and we were facing ongoing traffic.
Mm.
At that very moment, I just thought that, my life could have been over. But what I saw was the cars not blowing, not coming to a screeching halt. They just simply went around. It was noiseless.
Mm.
It was unbelievable. So when you ask me what would be my superpower, what would be my superpower? And why would I want that superpower? I would love to have foresight. I would like to see what's going to happen so I can properly prepare, warn people. If I saw what would be happening right now, you know, most people that were attached to me could have been millionaires, but I didn't see it. I could have prevented someone from their demise. I can help them properly prepare for their kids' college. I can properly prepare when they were going to be diagnosed with cancer. I can properly help them. And so just foreknowledge is something that no one has, but we have finite knowledge, but our God has infinite knowledge. And if I could have that foresight, oh my goodness, I would already know what's going to happen. It would take away, of course, the excitement and life's ups and downs and, you know, um, life's pattern, but I believe that I can help so many people. If I could just say, listen, you need to get with Angela right now so she can empower your money, because it shows right here that at age, you know, 30, you're going to, lose this job. So you must invest so you don't have to work somewhere. You don't want to work with people you don't even like. You don't want to put on clothes you don't even want to drive in traffic for no reason. So if I could do that, I think foresight is my answer. That will be my superpower. Why? Is because from where I'm from the medical field, prevention is better than cure.
Yeah. And I think one of the things that you'd mentioned from that too, a lesson is not to wait until the near, death experience to really truly
Yes.
live your life.
Say that. I need you to say that again for the people in the back, Angela. Say it again.
Yes. So not to wait for a near death experience to truly live your life and live your full potential. You should be doing that every day.
Absolutely. I love
Mhm.
it. Yes, that's why I don't use YOLO. YOLO, you only live once. I say no, YOLD. You live daily. And when you realize that you live daily, you would do more. I don't use bucket list. Why? Because every time you say bucket list, you put it off until you think you get older and you think you have time. No, have a live list. Live your life to the fullest. Live out loud. Of course, everyone is not going to like you. Of course, people are going to talk about you. Of course, you want to please everyone. Of course, and I can go on and on and on. But here's the deal. This is your life. You were put here with a purpose. You were put here with a passion that burns inside of you. It's that thing that does not allow you to sleep. I don't need an alarm clock. You know why? Because passion. passion is my alarm clock. I get to wake up every day, talk to women who want to travel, who want to make money with their businesses. They're ready to transition from corporate. We get to totally be transformational. We are change agents, whether you want to be or not. You are making an impact on someone's life, whether it's good or whether it's bad. And I am so grateful to be aligned with Angela because she is making a tremendous and immense impact on women and their finances. Angela, back over to you.
Awesome. Thank you. Dr. Tina, our audience is going to want to get in touch with you. So how do they reach you?
I'm glad you asked. You can reach out to me via email at speak@globalwomenspeakers.com. Speak@globalwomenspeakers.com. That's my email. Or guess what? You can join the 30-day max and we can partner with me. I only have, I think, 5 slots left, but it's 30-day live 30-day max.live. And Angela is one of the faculty. She's one of the 7-figure mentors. Now, you want to be coached by somebody who has some money, right? Somebody
Yes.
who's still making positive impact and investments. And so you can reach out to me there, or you can call me at the office, 310-917-1067. Yes, you can call me at the office, 310-917-1067, or you can find me on all things social, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, and LinkedIn. And it's the same, Tina D. Lewis, TINA D for Diva, LEWIS, Tina D. Lewis on all things social. I would love to connect with you. If you have any question, you can DM me, you can slide into my inbox, whatever it works. I'm just here to serve because I can tell you that's the most rewarding thing that we can do. That is the gift that keeps on giving, right? God doesn't give it to you unless he can get it through you. And I am honored and grateful to be here at such a time as this, because just think 2.5 weeks ago, Angela, we wouldn't be having this podcast. I am on fire. I
Yes.
thought I was on fire then, but let's wait until you see what's happening.
You
Back
have
to you,
definitely turned it up a notch. And so our audience definitely needs to join you, Global Women Speakers, 30-day max. I'm excited for you in the future. I love being part of your world, and I'm so grateful that we have met and that you've given your time and value today. So thank you so much.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you so much for tuning into Empower Her Money podcast. Hope you enjoyed this episode. Don't forget to subscribe, share this podcast, and leave a review wherever you are tuning in.